What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm down at Carolina Auto Direct and we're going to take a look at their 2021 Toyota 4Runner Limited Nightshade Edition. So huge shout out to them for providing this SUV for me today. Make sure you guys check out their website because they have a ton of awesome pre-owned inventory. I'll have other information down in the description below. But the 4Runner that you see behind me is finished off in Blizzard Pearl and it has a list price right around $56,000. But we're going to start off today's review with what powers the 4Runner. Up underneath the hood, you'll find the 4-liter V6 paired to the 5-speed automatic transmission. This pumps out 270 horsepower and 278 pound-feet of torque. It is all-wheel drive with the 4-wheel drive system. Weighs in right around 4,600 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in around 7.7 seconds, up to its top speed of 115 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 23 gallons, so you can expect to see around 15 miles per gallon in the city and 19 out on the highway. This has a wheelbase of 109.8 inches. Its overall length is 190.2. It has a width of 75.8. A height of 71.5 inches, and its ground clearance measures in at 9.6 inches. As we work our way to the exterior now for this 4Runner, I'm going to start off with these headlight housings. So you'll notice that this model does have LED headlights. You'll see the turn signal on the outer section, and then a really nice chrome trim piece running across the top all the way to the corner, and then down to the bottom. I think it would have been a good idea to see that blacked out to match the Nightshade edition. You can see there's a lot of gloss black and black chrome, so it would have been nice to tie that in a little bit nicer. However, there is a small chrome trim piece in the lower section of the bumper, so it does tie it in with that and match as well. As we work our way to the center grille here, you'll notice more of that black chrome running right through the middle. The Toyota badge has been blacked out. We have some more black chrome in the upper section and plenty of cutouts in all of these grills to provide maximum cooling to this engine. You'll see the forward-facing sensor right in the middle of the grill. This model also has front parking sensors, so you'll see those in the lower section of the bumper. I really like the gloss black trim that you see running across the bottom as well. And then as we work our way up to the hood, you'll see there's really clean lines running down it, meeting the top of this grill nicely, and it just gives it a really aggressive look for the 4Runner. As we make our way to the side profile now for this 4Runner, I'm going to start off with these wheels. So we have a really nice set of 20-inch wheels with a multi-spoke design to them. As you can tell, they are finished off in gloss black to match that Nightshade theme. You'll also notice the lower side skirt is finished off in gloss black, along with a black chrome trim piece running across the top of it. You'll also notice that the door handles are finished off in black, as well as the mirror caps, which also feature the integrated turn signal. And there's also some fins in there as well to help better improve with aerodynamics. This model also has a sunroof. You can see the roof racks are finished off in black. And then there's also black trim running around the windows. You'll also notice really nice lines running down the side profile. I already mentioned the one in the front fender here. We have really nice body colored fender flares as well. There's also a line that runs just above the door handles and really nice lines running in the lower side skirt. You'll also notice the limited badge is blacked out and we have some really nice lines to finish it off in the rear. And last up for this 4Runner, you'll see that this has a body colored spoiler with the integrated third brake light. You'll also notice too that the rear glass on the 4Runner slides up and down. It's one of the only SUVs to offer this. So with the Limited, I have the smart key in my pocket. We have two buttons over on this right side. The top one will lock and raise the window. The bottom one will unlock the vehicle and lower the glass. So just by holding on that, you don't have to open up the entire liftgate if you have some smaller items and you'd like to get into the back. And then of course, just pushing on the upper button, that will automatically raise it and lock the vehicle too. Very convenient feature to have for an SUV like this. You'll also notice that the Toyota badge along with 4Runner is blacked out with this trim piece. This does offer a backup camera with all the parking sensors. You'll notice that this rear bumper too has a combination of body colored black chrome and gloss black, just to tie it in nicely with the side skirts and the front bumper. We also have a really nice design for these taillights as well as the turn signals, and the 4Runner has a towing capacity up to 5,000 pounds. So now it's time to take a look at the interior on this 4Runner, and with the vehicle locked and the key in my pocket, all I need to do is place my hand on the door handle. You will hear it unlock, where now we can take a look at this door panel. You'll see the armrest is covered in leather and really nice silver stitching. We have gloss black trim on the grab handle as well as surrounding the window controls, which are all automatic up and down. We have lock and unlock just in front of that, along with chrome on the release handle. You'll see there's a little bit of storage right in the middle section of the door, which is really nice to see, as well as the memory seating adjustments. This model also has the 8-speaker JBL audio sound system, and you'll also notice there's a good amount of storage space in the lower section of the door. And then as we work our way to the interior now, you can see the all-weather floor mats with 4Runner written out. And now we can move on to these black leather seats. They have a really nice design to them. They are heated and ventilated as well. Really nice bolstering support to them. And then down on the sides, you can see more of the automatic controls. And now that we're inside with my foot on the brake, it's time to start it up. And looking at this gauge cluster, you'll see over on the left side is the tach as well as the engine temperature. On the right side is your miles per hour and fuel gauge. And then right in the middle, there's an LCD screen where you can go through a lot of information using these controls over on the right side of the steering wheel. So right now you can see your average MPG as well as your average miles per hour. And we can scroll down, you can look at a lot more of those settings. You can also look at your miles until empty as well as your average MPG again. There's also a live readout for your economy meter, so it's basically just showing you how well you're driving and how much fuel you can save. You can pull up the MPG in a larger view, as well as looking at the sway warning feature. So if you've been driving this vehicle for a long period of time, it will tell you when it's time to pull over and take a break. You can also scroll over and look at your TPMS as well as your steering angle. So if I turn the front wheels right now, you can see exactly where they're pointed. A very helpful feature, especially if you're taking this off-road or you just want to know when your tires are pointed straight. You'll also be able to pull up the compass as well as your music when that is on and running. You can also look at your cruise control as well as your lane keeping assist, any messages that you'd like to pull up, and then you have some settings so you can turn on and off your lane departure assist as well as your parking sensors, a few other features that you can go into. And then as we work our way to the steering wheel now, you'll see it's completely covered in leather. It's perforated on the sides and solid on the top and the bottom. You'll also notice a really nice trim piece on both sides. Also over on the right side, along with those controls, we have a back button along with a customizable button, so that's very nice to see. We have the front sensors as well as the lane keeping assist. And then over on the left side is volume and tuning for the radio as well as Bluetooth and voice commands. There's also the mode button for the stereo. And then as we work our way to the left side of the steering wheel, you can see the automatic headlight adjustments along with a dimmer switch for the gauges. There's a power outlet located in the rear cargo area as well as the rear defroster, and we have the side mirror adjustments. You'll also notice one air vent. And then as we make our way to the center, you'll see a clock up top along with 2 air vents, and just below that is the 8-inch touchscreen system. So right now you can see it's currently on the home screen, so you can just push home up on the upper left, where you'll see the navigation over on the right side as well as audio and phone when those are on and running. You can also push on menu here to pull up these different apps. We have destination for your GPS, of course, audio and phone. There's different apps that you can go into, and of course you can add more if you'd like to. We have projection, which is how you can pair your phone to this system. You'll also notice a shortcut to audio. We can pull up the map in full screen. And then over on the right side, you can see Seek and Track, as well as shortcuts to phone and apps. You'll also notice power and volume for the radio is on the left side and tuning is on the right side. And we have more of that trim that you saw on the steering wheel surrounding the upper section just to tie it in nicely and give it a great look. And then as we work our way below that, you'll see the temperature for driver on the left side, temperature for passengers over on the right side. And then all the climate controls are laid out very well. You can see exactly where you'd like the air to go. We have fan speed right in the center, off is just below that, and there's a few other buttons on the right side, along with the digital screen. So you can see the fan speed right here, along with where you like the air to go, and of course the temperature for driver and passenger. It's a very nicely laid out system, and we have some large knobs here. So if you are wearing gloves, if it's wintertime, you can easily control all of this even if you have gloves on. So it's a really nice design to see. And then right at the bottom here, you can see there's a USB on the left side, a 12 volt on the right side, and then we have the heated and ventilated seat controls. So when you want to turn them on, you can just push this button to have it pop out. And then just by turning it, you can control the temperature for heated and ventilated. So there's a few different levels for driver and passenger. Really nice to see that. There's a little bit of storage space just underneath that. And then we have one cup holder as well as the 4-wheel drive selector. You'll see there's a little bit of storage just behind that. And then making our way to the shifter now, you can see it's finished off with more of gloss black. We can put the truck into reverse now. You'll see the backup camera up here with the guidelines. It's a very crystal clear image to see exactly what's behind you. You can also go all the way down into drive and put it into the manual mode here. So if you are towing, if you're taking this off-road, you like to hold it in a certain gear, you can easily do that. You'll notice there's a little bit more storage over on the right side for a phone or something small like that. We do have another cup holder. Right here is the control for that back window. So if you'd like to roll that down from the driver's seat or put it back up, of course, you have the option to do that. And then as we work our way to the center armrest now, you'll see there's a lot of storage space for any items you'd like to place here. There's another 12 volt. We have a spot up here for a tissue box, so it's nice how that's integrated into the upper lid. And then as we work our way to the glove box, just pushing on that button, you can see there's a ton of room for anything you'd like to place there, and a really nice trim piece just above that. So we'll take one last look at these seats here. And as I mentioned, this does have a sunroof, so we have the manual sunshade. We can open that up. All of those controls are up in the center, along with traction control. There's the 8-track system, along with the downhill assist control. There's a few garage door buttons, and then in the very front here is a sunglass holder. Jumping into the back seats now for this 4Runner, this is a very practical back seat for an SUV, and at 5'10", I have plenty of room. So you can see I have the front seat set at my height, plenty of room for my knees and my feet. I have around 2 or 3 inches above my head, and these seats also recline too, so you can go all the way back. The seat is currently all the way forward right now, and this gives you a lot more comfort. I've been in the back seat of a 4Runner for about 11 or 12 hours, and it's doable. It makes it very comfortable, and there's a lot of room for your backseat passengers. You'll also notice too that we have 2 air vents, which makes it more convenient for the climates, of course. There's 2 USB ports, along with some storage pockets behind both front seats. You'll also notice too, right in the middle, we do have an armrest along with 2 cup holders, and these backrests have a 40-20-40 split. So you can pull on this latch here and fold down the middle seat. It just makes it more convenient if you have larger items to put through. And then you can also fold down the outer 2 seats. So you do have to pull up the bottom first, and then you can fold the headrest and fold these seats flat, giving you a lot more interior storage. And then last up for the 4Runner, it's time to take a look at the rear storage space. So I'll just use the button up underneath, and we can lift this lift gate all the way up. You'll see there's a lot of interior storage even with the back seats up. We have some tie-down hooks so you can safely secure any items. Over on the left side, you can see there's a small tray. Same on the right side, we do have that 12-volt and that 3-prong outlet that I mentioned earlier. So there's a nice amount of storage in this back area here. There's also some hidden storage over on the driver's side here. And then with the back seats down, you can see just how much more storage space there is. You can put in whatever items you'd like to. Very practical SUV to have. And then up on the liftgate, you'll see there are 2 speakers as well as 2 dome lights. So if you're tailgating, especially if you're at nighttime or you're camping, you can listen to music and have a little bit of light. There's also a strap here if you'd like to use it, as well as a grab handle on both sides. It's a very light liftgate, making it easy to close. All right, so getting the 2021 Toyota 4Runner out on the road now. I've reviewed a few 4Runners this year. My dad even owns a 4Runner. So if you watched my previous 4Runner reviews, I have a lot of experience behind the wheel of this vehicle, and I love it. I love the kind of old school design that it has, but for 2021, there are some updates that I do like. We have a little bit larger of a screen. We do have the buttons on the outside still, which I think is a really nice design. As I mentioned earlier, wearing gloves and being able to utilize all of this information here is really beneficial. So I think that's basically why Toyota designed it that way. So you can easily grab the climate controls there. You can push on these buttons here rather than using the screen, but it is a touchscreen system, so you can use that if you need to. But I think it's a great design. Everything is laid out incredibly well. This is actually the first 4Runner that I've been in that has heated and ventilated seats. So that is really nice to see that you can get that if you go with the Limited and the Nightshade edition. But getting this out on the road now, it's a very comfortable SUV to drive. It is body on frame, so it's a true truck construction, but at the same time, it drives well. I don't have any complaints with its suspension. I would say maybe the one drawback is it's a little bit soft, but if you like that, it's going to absorb bumps a little bit better, especially out on the highway. That's definitely a benefit. Of course, you could change that with a lift and different suspension and things like that. But for a stock truck, I think it drives very nicely. And we're slowing down here, so we'll give it a little bit of gas and see how this performs. I'm not doing anything crazy. And we're getting up to the speed limit just like that, not even half throttle. The 4Runner is not the quickest SUV out there. It's not a performance vehicle, but it has plenty of power to get up and move. But what I really love about the 4Runner is basically how practical this SUV is. You can put a lot of things on the inside here. As I mentioned earlier, my dad does own a 4Runner. It's this generation, and he uses it all the time. You can put in anything he wants in the back, going to the store, whatever it may be. You can tow with this up to around 5,000 pounds, which is pretty healthy for this kind of vehicle. So that allows you to put on smaller trailers, anything that you need to. You can take this off the pavement. We have 4-wheel drive. You may not want to do it with the 20-inch wheels on this particular model, but if you need to use that 4-wheel drive system, you have it, and it's very usable. So I love how practical and daily driver friendly this SUV is. So if you need something that can tow, you need all this interior storage, it's a great option. It doesn't have a lot of technology, but I like that. It has everything that you need without going overboard. And then moving on to the rest of the interior materials, it's a really nice layout. We have the leather seats, really nice trim pieces, kind of give it that upscale premium look without going overboard as well. So it's definitely a nice place to be if you're driving this every single day. And then talking about the visibility, since you are driving this every day, we have plenty of visibility, a lot of large glass everywhere, so I can easily look over my left shoulder, I can look over my right shoulder. Basically, you don't really have any blind spots. It sits up pretty high, so you can't see the base of the hood here, but you can easily see around it, and like I mentioned earlier, pretty much a 360-degree view. I also love the fact too that this is a very quiet vehicle from the inside. There's not a lot of road noise or wind noise, so that adds to the daily drivingness of this vehicle. Just cruising right now, even with a car passing, very well insulated, so it's going to give you a comfortable ride. And then making a quick U-turn here, it's a very maneuverable SUV, so you can easily drive this in parking lot situations, you can see where your front tires are aimed if you need to use that, but it also makes it more versatile if you do want to take this off the pavement. Now, most 4Runners are probably going to be seeing pavement most of the time, but if you want a smaller size vehicle, you can take this off-road. It's going to be very nimble and maneuverable through the trails. You can put a lift on it, get some extra ground clearance, and it would be a great off-roading vehicle, and yet at the same time, a perfect daily driver for whatever you need it for. But I think that's going to wrap it up for my walk-around review and test drive, getting behind the wheel of this 2021 Toyota 4Runner Limited with the Nightshade package. Once again, huge shout out to Carolina Auto Direct for providing this SUV for me today. Make sure you guys check out their website. That link is down in the description below. And if you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up. Consider smashing that subscribe button if you'd like to stay up to date on our daily uploads. And I'll see you guys in the next video.